Can't relax, okay? I'm paranoid, okay? I'm schizophrenic, okay? Shot when I land, okay? I'm in Japan, okay?
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Here's Harvin. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Finds his target, Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flushed out right. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Penny, a first down carry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running. And there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Room here to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 19 and a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
That's caught by Penny. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The gain of 39 that time. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On second down, here's Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down.
Well, he obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he...
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Wilson on second down. Big hold to the 30. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And not a whole lot doing there. as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Rodgers now to throw. And some room to roam now. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
After the interception, here's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A hand off to Penny, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Now Myers for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Hurry up.
On first down, Rodgers. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey. Got three. 3 down.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long. Yeah, better against man than zone, or? Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Michael Brockers in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defenses.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Perry in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Seattle. 57 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than a defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Here's a give to Penny. Fighting to stay upright inside the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They come out here in the I. Penny will try to punch it in, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Rodgers now on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Alert! 319!
Rodgers to throw on second down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10.
14. Go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now Wilson on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Check 50.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hodges. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
There. Right, 280. Bang out.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Throws right side, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Far left. Right, 90. Hey. Deeper. Gun.
Wilson throwing again. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, Let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they'll run it here. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now a play fake here on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams. You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Space to run past the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did?
And he is is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. The extra point now coming from Myers. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They run. Montgomery. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, 88.
Rodgers now to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Watt. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Oh, now he bowls him over. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Michael Brockers. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Flush to his right. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Power.
They keep it with Penny on first down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Tempo, tempo.
Here's Penny on the counter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Rashad Penny. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number one stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And he works free. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, 49 yards. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. 319.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
3 down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
What's left? Friday.
Again, it's Penny. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Let's go. Good. Reload.
On 3rd down, Penny. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
This is Penny, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On the run, it's Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check 51.
Well, they'll run it again with Penny. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. The 1st-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Seahawks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Penny. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now it's Penny. And a short gain down to about the 33. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at its 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Here's Rodgers operating from the gun. He can run for it, and he will. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They go play action here on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They begin with a run by Penny. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The pitch goes to Penny. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll have another road date next week.
Look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me?